Creatine is extremely popular for developing and maximizing athletic performance. It is used by the majority of top athletes in all different types of sports. Studies show that around 50% of footballers actively take creatine. So why is this? What happens to your body when you take creatine? And is it safe long term? Creatine is a naturally occurring compound that can be found in small amounts from certain foods, like fish and red meat. It is also produced by our own bodies within the liver, pancreas and kidneys. Research shows that a 70 kilogram or 155 pounds man with an average physique naturally has about 120 grams of creatine stored in his body without any supplementation. About 90 to 95% of this is stored in his muscle cells. Creatine enhances energy production by helping replenish the ATP, adenosine triphosphate in the muscle cells, which is the primary source of energy for muscle contractions. It does this by converting ADP plus pi, broken down ATP, back into its original ATP, essentially providing a buffer against muscle fatigue. This allows muscles to perform at higher speeds and for longer periods of time. As a result of this, footballers who take creatine will be more explosive on the pitch, meaning they can excel at various aspects of the game. For example, jumping in the air to win a header, meaning you are more able to be successful against your opponent. Creatine also improves athletic performance by boosting strength and sprinting. One study showed that short-term creatine supplementation was reported to improve maximal power, strength, muscle contractions and sprinting performance. Some of these factors increased by 5 to 15%, which in the margins of football for short-term supplementation is huge. Therefore it is significantly beneficial to consistently fill your muscle creatine stores. Most people have no idea that creatine helps benefit cognitive function. The majority of people will assume creatine is only for athletes and gym rats. However, creatine can actually benefit the brain. This is because like any muscle, the brain uses the synthesis of ATP to function. For example, a study from the University of Sydney assessed the effect of creatine on cognitive function. The experiment looked specifically at the memory function. The participants who were supplemented with creatine were able to remember a longer sequence of numbers, compared to those who didn't supplement with creatine. They concluded that creatine gave a significant measurable boost to brain power. This can be particularly beneficial for footballers, as it may help them stay mentally sharp during matches, make better decisions on the field, and have an overall better game awareness. Now creatine can cause you to gain weight, but this is simply due to creatine causing you to retain more water. This is because when creatine is taken into a muscle cell, it also draws water into that cell. The exact mechanism for this isn't fully clear yet. This is why you can expect to weigh 0.5 to 1.5 kilograms more after only 1 week of creatine supplementing. Now this may sound like a bad thing, but water retention in the muscles is extremely beneficial. This is because it gives your muscles a fuller look, making you appear more muscular, as well as helping to hydrate your muscles, meaning they are less likely to fatigue and cramp during a match. Football is a physically demanding sport that can result in muscle damage and inflammation. Creatine has been shown to have anti-inflammatory properties and can help reduce muscle damage caused by intense exercise. Additionally, creatine has been shown to increase the production of proteins that are involved in muscle repair and recovery. This means that footballers who take creatine as a supplement may experience faster recovery times between training sessions and matches, allowing them to maintain a high level of performance throughout the season. Aside from the benefits, after taking a surplus of creatine into your body, there can be some side effects. Now a majority of people do not experience these, and if so, they are very minor. But some people do, therefore we should talk about them. The most common one is that creatine causes hair loss. This fear came from a study that suggested after 3 weeks of creatine supplementation there was an increase in DHT or dihydrotestosterone, which is the primary androgen that is associated with male pattern baldness. However, the evidence does show that creatine is unlikely to cause hair loss alone. This may only be an issue for people with a pre-existing history of hair loss. Besides from hair loss, the most commonly reported effect inside the body after taking creatine is limited to digestion, in the form of cramping, nausea, stomach pain and diarrhea. Usually, these symptoms will happen during the loading phase where you're taking up 25 grams of creatine to fill your creatine stores faster. So if you are experiencing any of these digestive issues, you do not need to do this. You can simply take 5 grams of creatine per day consistently for about 4 weeks to fill your creatine storages over a longer period of time. Once they are full, they cannot get any fuller. All you need to do is be consistent with taking the recommended dose of 4 to 8 grams of creatine per day depending on your body weight. That should give you a clear idea of what happens to your body on creatine and how impactful and beneficial it can be for a footballer, or anyone for that matter. However, even though creatine is like a silver bullet in the world of natural supplements, it will not replace consistently doing the right thing with your diet and training. If you want to learn other small details that give these professional footballers the edge, check out the other videos on my channel and like and subscribe for more.